Marcus Aurelius spent 12 years as the Emperor of Rome, running a war from a tent on a Danube frontier as the plague tore through his armies. He had an enormous weight on his shoulders, and the power he held was immense. The decisions he had to make would quite literally end people. Because of that, he kept a journal, one that we call Meditations today. Some of the parts in there is quite literally him telling himself to stop exaggerating, to be in the moment, and to do the next right thing. Confine yourself to the present, he writes to himself, again and again, like a man who knows his mind all too well. When someone like that, somebody so powerful as Marcus, had to tell himself that every single day, had to tell himself not to live in his own head, that should tell you something very important. And I wonder if you know what that is. Overthinking isn't some sort of fact that you're conscientious or the fact that you're a deep thinker. Overthinking is simply a natural flaw. It is a universal human malfunction, so to speak. It is what shackles us to the moment, not being able to get out of it like we should. And overthinking doesn't get fixed by more thinking. It gets fixed by writing things down and making it clear, and then taking action. Because there is no point in you asking about what you should do about your entire life, because the chances are you don't even know what's going to happen in 3 months. So focus on the following evening, or the following day, or the following week. Keep it small and narrow to the moment, because Marcus didn't solve Rome. He solved the current problem. He solved the following day. He looked at the next opportunity until his very last day. Right now, it may be late at night. You're sitting there, replaying the same conversation you had over and over again. You write a text, and then you delete it. You're not solving anything by being in that moment and telling yourself that you're just thinking it through. You may not want to admit this. You probably do this more often than you realize. You are hiding behind your thoughts because you're afraid of what's going to happen next. But your thoughts are the exact thing that are keeping you shackled into being the person you are now, away from the person you want to become. Overthinking doesn't solve problems. It is simply an avoidance strategy and a safety net that you've created for yourself that you can reliably fall back on. Because if you're just thinking about it, or that you're thinking it through, it makes you feel like you're in control. But the reality is you have no idea what you're doing, because you're applying multiple scenarios, multiple things, multiple people, multiple outcomes. The list doesn't stop, and your mind is just going and going and going. Because real thinking has a destination. You have some choices to make, you weigh them out, you pick one, and then you just go with it and see what happens. It may be the wrong choice. That's completely okay. We are going to mess up in life. That's just how things are. The most important thing is that we learn from that choice. And the one we made, well, we know not to make that one next time. And we go to this choice instead. It is as simple as that. So stop hiding from what could be. Because yeah, the matter of fact is that you may send that text and they may reject you. You may send the application and you're not made to get that job. You may try something and you may look stupid. That is true. All of that is true. But what if it works out? Why are you hiding from that possibility of it going well? Because if you don't try, it will never go well, because you're not giving it the opportunity. The Stoics were very good at setting this bit straight and then separated what they can control away from what they cannot. You need to draw a line. You have to have that line. What you can control and what you cannot. Sitting there, constantly thinking about what they said, what they meant, what they are doing, whilst you're laying in bed at 1 a.m. None of that can be decided at 1 a.m. when you're laying in bed. To be quite honest, none of that can be decided in your head, full stop. You need to have the clearer picture of everything that's going on. So become very honest with yourself right now. I wanted to ask this very, very important question. Is this something that I can actually act on, or am I just seeking control? If you can act on it, that's wonderful. I want you to write down, whether it's on your phone or on a piece of paper, what it is that you're going to do. That will solidify it. Then go to sleep. I want you to take the night to think about it, because you'll be surprised just how much clearer your head is going to be the following morning after you've had some rest. The picture may become a lot clearer than you realize. If you can't do anything about it, well then, what's the point in thinking about it anymore? If it started raining right now, no matter how much that upsets me or how much I think about it, the rain isn't going to stop until it's going to stop. There is absolutely nothing I can do about that. Just let it be. You've made your bed. The decision has been made. The circumstance of the event has already happened. It doesn't matter how much you think about it now. Nothing's going to change. Whatever is. And that's final. The second thing that I always really like reminding myself about is the fact that every single decision we make is based off incomplete information. When you do something, you never know the full picture. When you get on a plane, you don't know who the pilot is, do you? You just get on and you trust them. But you're not quite thinking about their abilities, you just expect them to be okay. But they may not be. Maybe he's not feeling well that day. How are you supposed to know that? You do not. Next time you drive to work, you're just assuming they're going to get there completely okay. But what if someone doesn't look and they go into you? You don't know that. You're just assuming that things are going to be okay. And once again, that's fine. That's just a part of life. Things happen that we have no control over, and there's simply nothing we can do. But every decision we make is based off of incomplete information. So right now, if you go outside and you think about every single possibility that could possibly happen, you would freeze in place and you would never go anywhere. You would just remain stationary. You'd just be frozen and you wouldn't know what to do. So as good as it is to think about things and to be strategic and obviously understand what it is that you gain yourself into, of course, I'm not telling you to stop thinking and just do, because there's a time and a place for that. However, thinking about things too much is going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you exactly where you are. And I know that because I was a very, very bad overthinker myself in my younger days. Everything had to be perfect. And I was always worried about everything. And I would just create fake scenarios in my mind all the time. And I know how much that destroyed me. So I have a pretty good feeling and a pretty good idea as to how much it's destroying you right now. So I really hope this video can be as a reminder to you. Next time you start overthinking, put this on, have a little listen, just come back to it. Hopefully it helps you out. I know this is something I'm going to listen to myself. Last week, I spoke about progress and how there's a chance that you're quitting a little bit too early, which may actually have to do with your overthinking at the moment. So if you want to, I'd recommend that you check that one out after this video. And if not, that's okay. I hope you have a lovely day. I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you next week. Bye bye now.